been an ugly start to the year for software stocks. Feels like we're in this kind of existential crisis.
Bill Gates loses it as Samsung makes the shocking move to ditch Windows for Linux on March 27th, sending shockwaves through the tech world. This brutal betrayal exposes the fragility of Microsoft's empire and threatens the monopoly it has clung to for decades.
Linux is currently seeing a lot of change, and if you have been following the trends over the past couple of years, you can see a shift that more and more companies are evaluating Linux as a viable platform.
Users are finally waking up to a faster, freer, and more reliable alternative, leaving Windows scrambling to survive.
But moving to Linux doesn't cost you anything, makes you safer, and allows you to use even old computers. Win, win, win.
I can't stop thinking about what Samsung just did. In 2026, they quietly started moving their laptops away from Windows and fully embracing Linux. And honestly, this is huge. Microsoft, the company I grew up trusting for everything Windows, suddenly looks shaken. Bill Gates' empire, the Windows monopoly we all took for granted, is facing a challenge it hasn't seen in decades. And it couldn't have come at a worse time for them.
Have you noticed something interesting lately? More and more people are ditching Windows and shifting to Linux. Not just tech enthusiasts, but regular users, organizations, and even governments.
I guess Microsoft just doesn't really like consent in this situation, because they really are just forcing themselves onto the average user.
The cracks were visible for a while. Remember Windows on ARM? Microsoft promised laptops that were thinner, faster, always connected. It sounded amazing on paper. Longer battery life, mobility, a modern approach. But in reality, it was a disaster. Drivers were inconsistent. Enterprise software refused to run. Developers ignored it. People were frustrated, and I saw it firsthand. Apps wouldn't launch, updates broke workflows, and productivity tanks were everywhere. Samsung saw all of this, and in 2026, quietly decided to step back. They didn't need to shout it from the rooftops. Every failed update, every frustrated corporate IT team, every compatibility headache told them that Windows wasn't working.
You might or might not be surprised that every one of the top 500 supercomputers in the world runs on an operating system called Linux. Not Windows, not Mac, Linux.
I've realized just how big this is when you look at the OEM side. Companies like Samsung deal with Windows problems constantly, updates breaking features, security patches causing crashes, and support tickets piling up. When a company of Samsung's size signals that it can't fully trust Windows for its high-end laptops, it's more than a software issue. It's a structural problem. Microsoft's ecosystem, built over decades, is showing real cracks, and I've been watching it happen in real time.
This adventure we're going into, where everything is going to be AI, is just going to have some of the more frustrating results of all time. Using the mobile version of what used to be Office, now stupidly called Microsoft 360 Copilot, leads you straight to a Copilot prompt. Like, I don't want the fucking chat with your AI bot. I want to see a list of my recent documents.
Then there's the Copilot mess. Microsoft went all in on AI for Windows 11. Every new laptop ships with a dedicated Copilot key. It's like AI was forced into my life whether I wanted it or not. On top of that, my laptop slowed down, and memory and CPU were eaten alive by background AI processes. Windows Recall, which was supposed to help track my activity for productivity, became a privacy nightmare, taking screenshots of everything I did. At first, I couldn't even opt out.
Force people to move to the latest OS or force them onto more costly support plans as well, which means staying on Microsoft solutions is getting more and more expensive when moving to open source on paper looks free because you don't have to pay any license.
So, having an agent try and, predict what information a user should have access to and then occasionally give them the wrong data that they shouldn't have access to is obviously a non-starter for any mission critical workflow or process.
And the ads. Every time I logged in, I was reminded about OneDrive, Microsoft 365, and other services I didn't ask for. My premium device suddenly felt cheap, cluttered, and slow, and I wasn't alone in feeling this way. IT professionals I know, the people managing Windows across thousands of machines, were furious. This wasn't just an angry tweet or a forum rant, it was thousands of reports, public complaints, and enterprise pushback. Microsoft wasn't dealing with a PR problem anymore. It was a legitimacy crisis.
Many have considered leaving Windows altogether, and the reason for this is because a lot of perfectly working good Windows 10 devices whose hardware runs Windows 10 perfectly cannot upgrade to Windows 11 due to the strict hardware requirements by Microsoft.
Then came the Galaxy Connect disaster. Samsung's app on Windows locked thousands of users out of their C drives after a security update. The fix? Administrator access, changing file ownership, and running batch files. It was like performing emergency surgery on a system that was supposed to be stable. And this made me realize the trust between Windows and its hardware partners is cracking. Ordinary users like me aren't willing to deal with this kind of risk anymore.
Linux was considered complicated, niche, and only for programmers. But today, that perception is changing fast. So the big question is, why are people ditching Windows for Linux?
At the same time, Linux has quietly become something I'm actually excited about. For years, it was the hobbyist OS, but now it feels like the smarter choice. I can choose Zorin OS, Pop OS, or Linux Mint, and everything just works. Clean, fast, secure, and free from forced updates, AI overload, and ads. Steam Deck and Proton compatibility mean I can even game without losing progress. For the first time, Linux doesn't feel like a compromise. It feels like freedom.
Every single workstation PC they sell won't just support the distros, they'll ship with them pre-installed.
What really blew me away is the community support for Samsung Galaxy Books running Linux. Drivers for keyboard backlight, performance profiles, and battery management, things that were Windows only, suddenly work. And it's not Samsung building them, it's community developers. But the fact that it's happening shows me exactly where things are heading. When people start building infrastructure to run your hardware smoothly on Linux, you know a real shift is happening.
Microsoft Azure all run on Linux. Linux is also huge in enterprise. 90% of IBM's mainframe customers, well, they use Linux. If you have an Android smartphone, Android uses Linux. In short, Linux is everywhere behind the scenes.
This isn't just about tech enthusiasts tinkering in basements. Millions of users are now looking at Linux as the better option. Samsung's move is a signal that even industry giants see the cracks in Windows. And honestly, I get it. Linux is faster on cheaper hardware, respects my privacy, doesn't bombard me with ads, and lets me control my own system.
Zorin OS is known in the Linux world, and also from my own experiences, as one of the best starting points that a new user that is switching over from Windows or just generally starting out can have. It comes with a traditional taskbar, a start menu that has slightly been reworked with this new release.
That Microsoft quietly dialed back internal growth expectations for some of its AI products. That's because customers have pushed back against these agentic AI add-ons.
Watching all this unfold, I realized something huge. Windows isn't the default anymore. People like me and millions of others are starting to take control of our computers again. Samsung is quietly backing Linux while Windows struggles with forced AI, bloated updates, and hardware restrictions. And it's becoming impossible to ignore. The monopoly that Microsoft once had is finally being challenged.
Or gulf between the kinds of apps that you build internally, very quickly for an internal, workflow, or obviously the software you're building for your customers, and the core systems of record that you use to power your operations and your just the core way that you run your business.
March 2026 was the moment Windows showed its fragility. Samsung's Galaxy Connect app, running on Windows, suddenly locked thousands of users out of their C drives after a security update. Fixing it wasn't clicking a button. You needed admin access, had to change ownership of every file, run a batch file, and hope nothing exploded. That's emergency surgery for ordinary people. It made me realize how much OEMs like Samsung are at Microsoft's mercy. One broken update, and your hardware looks bad, even if it's perfect. Suddenly, reducing dependency on Windows isn't just smart, it's survival.
This generally means Microsoft products are being phased out by individual municipalities or federal states or organizations.
Meanwhile, Linux quietly became irresistible. I used to dismiss it as a hobbyist OS, but it's faster, lighter, and respects my privacy. Steam Deck and Proton let me play AOA games, run professional software, and never worry about forced updates or ads. Samsung Galaxy Books now have community-built drivers unlocking Windows-only features, keyboard backlights, performance profiles, and battery thresholds. It's insane. The community is building Linux infrastructure faster than Windows can keep up.
Just real reasons why Linux is suddenly gaining attention. Let's start at the top. Governments. In several European countries, there's a clear push to reduce dependency on Microsoft and other US-based tech companies. Germany's Schleswig-Holstein state, for example, is planning to move around 30,000 government computers from Windows and Microsoft Office to Linux and LibreOffice.
The shift is happening everywhere. Governments and enterprises are exploring Linux for digital independence. Ordinary users are taking control. I'm part of that movement. I can customize, optimize, and finally use my laptop without Microsoft breathing down my neck. Linux isn't just viable, it's superior.
And maybe some companies will play around with the idea of could you compress that stack by building that out yourself. But at the end of the day, most companies want to be focused on their core competency, and usually that's not rebuilding, kind of IT systems that they can get off the market. I would actually flip it a little bit.
The market is screaming the same thing. Windows 10 ended support in October 2025, leaving 240 million users at a crossroads. Upgrade, pay, or find another path. Millions chose another path. Zorin OS 18 hit 6 figures in downloads, mostly from Windows users. Searches for how to install Linux surged globally by 5x. That's not curiosity, that's migration. OEMs like Dell, System76, Tuxedo, Slimbook, and Framework are building Linux-first laptops that work out of the box. No license fees, fewer support headaches, no Windows-specific bugs. The math is brutal.
It's not just that more and more people are considering Linux to be a viable choice for their desktops, but also that we have seen many improvements to both hardware and software support, that many vendors just straight up offer Linux as a cheaper alternative for their devices.
Samsung's move is silent but deliberate. They aren't announcing a pivot yet. Windows still ships on Galaxy Books, but they're letting the community develop Linux drivers while testing the waters. They're playing the long game, cheaper, faster, more stable laptops for everyone. Their global scale could make Linux adoption explode, far beyond what boutique Linux OEMs could do.
And of course, Reddit did not take too kindly to this whole idea of agentic OS. Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think Reddit takes kindly to pretty much anything.
This isn't theory, it's real. Windows is bloated with AI, forced updates, ads, and high hardware requirements. Linux runs faster on cheaper hardware, respects your privacy, and finally puts control in your hands. Samsung's quiet bet, combined with the migration of millions, makes it clear 2026 isn't just a year of minor change. It's the year Windows starts losing its grip. I've seen the cracks, I've felt the frustration, and I've switched. Linux isn't the future. For me, it's the now.
Microsoft says 26H1 is based on a different Windows core. So while existing PCs and Snapdragon X2 based PCs will both get security, quality, and feature updates, they'll be different updates, and never the twain shall meet.
This is the Microsoft File Explorer. Well, a bunch of eagle-eyed people decided to look through all the updates that Microsoft pushes, and they found out that we're stuffing the AI right into your file browser.
I have to admit, watching Microsoft unravel has been brutal. They are doing everything wrong at once. Forced AI everywhere, bloated updates that take forever to install, ridiculous hardware restrictions, and subscription models stacked on top of subscription models are alienating users at an unprecedented rate. I have talked to IT professionals who manage Windows for years. and almost universally, they reject Copilot. Older hardware slows to a crawl under Windows 11, while privacy concerns have exploded because of features like Windows Recall and background AI tracking. The prestige that Windows once carried is gone, and enterprise trust is rapidly eroding.
That the company is going to have out there being tested by end users in as many edge cases as possible, and it's the one that they're going to have the most people shrieking at them if it's broken.
At the same time, I am seeing alternatives thriving. Linux, long considered a niche or geek OS, is finally moving into the mainstream. macOS is steadily capturing users who are fed up with Windows' constant headaches. But the real shocker for me is Samsung. Their quiet pivot to Linux is not just symbolic. It adds critical momentum to a growing market shift. Mainstream mass-market hardware is now capable of running Linux smoothly and optimized for performance. Watching this unfold, I realized that Bill Gates built an empire assuming that Windows would always dominate laptops. That assumption is being actively undermined right now, and I am witnessing it in real time.
Munich famously tried Linux years ago and later rolled back to Windows due to cost and management issues. But the key difference today is maturity. Linux and open source tools are far more polished than they were a decade ago, and Microsoft software is also becoming significantly more expensive.
I find it incredible how quickly Linux is gaining traction. By mid-2025, Linux had already reached roughly 5% of the US desktop market. SteamOS and Proton compatibility layers proved that Linux can handle AAA games and professional workflows without compromise. I personally have experienced how Linux allows me to work efficiently while gaming or running professional software, all without the forced updates, intrusive ads, or subscription hoops that Windows keeps throwing in my way. Linux has become faster, more stable, and more private, and people are noticing. Samsung's role in this shift cannot be overstated. By quietly supporting community-driven Linux drivers for Galaxy Books, they are proving that mainstream laptops can fully embrace Linux without compromise. This includes hardware-level features such as keyboard backlight control, performance profiles, and battery management, which were previously Windows-only. When a global giant like Samsung begins nudging the market, other OEMs cannot ignore it. Companies like Dell, System76, Framework, Tuxedo, and Slimbook are already building Linux-first laptops, but Samsung brings scale, retail presence, and legitimacy that could accelerate Linux adoption far faster than any boutique vendor.
Why it matters, but also why it could still very much completely fail and result in a whole big pile of nothing.
For Microsoft, this is a serious wake-up call. They are struggling to fix AI integration, hardware requirements, and subscription models while users quietly migrate away. The cracks in their ecosystem are enormous, and the alternatives are ready and waiting. I believe the question is no longer whether users will switch, but whether Microsoft can slow it down at all. I am convinced that 2026 might not just be the year Linux becomes a serious option for everyday users. It could be the year Windows finally loses its crown. The monopoly that once seemed untouchable is now being challenged by freedom, stability, and performance, and companies like Samsung are leading the charge. I can feel this tectonic shift happening, and it is exhilarating to watch.